Sit down. Sit down. Just sit down. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. I am Colleen Thoele and I serve this congregation as the Director of Religious Education. And I want to express my thanks to our team leading worship this morning, including our Worship Associate and RE Chair, Amanda Rome, our Music Director, Katie Grigg Miller, as well as our tech team, Julie and Jen, with Ginny remotely helping us on Zoom. We gather both in person and on Zoom as a diverse and inclusive spiritual community that seeks to inspire love, work for justice, and grow in community. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, and whomever you love, you are welcome here. I would like to direct your attention to the activities and events that are on the back of your order of service so that you're aware of the many happenings in our shared life and work. And one of those things that's not on the back of your order of service is voting eligibility. Ooh. The annual meeting of the congregation will be held Sunday, May 28th, immediately following the service. And all are invited to attend, but only active members of the congregation are eligible to vote at this meeting. Our bylaws state that you're eligible to vote in elections 4 weeks after becoming an active member. So you must have signed the registration member form on or before April 30th to be eligible to vote. Should you have questions, please contact someone on the membership committee, Ginny Horvath, Diane Kloss, Mary Leeson, Claudia Miller, Marion Yeagler, with any questions. Can you raise your hand if you're in the membership committee and you're here today? Okay. All right, so this morning is RE Sunday, a day to celebrate and be inspired by our children and our youth. And I can't wait for you to experience a part of their joyful journey through religious education. Once again, welcome.
My friends, we are here this morning to celebrate our children and their learning over this past church year. In our church, we call this religious education. It happens every Sunday morning with our Time for All Ages, usually led by our amazing Director of Religious Education, Colleen Thoele. It also happens in our classrooms, where our dedicated team of amazing volunteer teachers and our nursery staff, Michelle Borez, lead explorations. It happens outside of Sunday mornings in programming led by our astounding volunteer OWL instructors. More on that later. And it happens at events coordinated by our volunteer religious education committee. I am here in front of you as the chair of the religious education committee and as the lead teacher for the middle school class this year. So, adults and near adults, by a show of hands, how many of you remember your middle school experience? Okay, so by a show of hands, how many of you wish you didn't remember your middle school experience? Okay, middle schoolers, look around. It's not so bad, really, but it is tough. It is a tough time. I, however, have had the distinct privilege of teaching the group of kids that is now in middle school since many of them were in preschool. We have added some new faces along the way, and some have fallen away from our community, but I have to tell you that things are getting exciting now. Does that sound odd to you? So here's what I'm really here to say. Our kids are amazing. I have walked with these kids on their journey this past year and for many years prior, and I said that things were getting exciting in the middle school class. I said that because I get to see how their experiences in this community and outside of it help inform the amazing people they are becoming and will become. I get to see how they walk together as a group, welcoming new people and dealing with difficult situations. I am proud of them and awed by them. Really, I am, you guys. You're amazing. And they are navigating all these challenges, like bullying, relationships, injustice, self-image. This is all really hard stuff. Stuff that, a lot of us are still figuring out how to deal with for the rest of our lives, but they are becoming aware, and they are figuring it out. And they're teaching me stuff. So, for families of children that are younger than middle school, this will be your kids someday, and it's great. And for those with kids older than middle school, isn't it amazing how they come through it and the people they become? And for those of us in the community with them, aren't you so glad you're along for the ride? Let's find out more about their ride this year. Come, let us worship together.
As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice to unite us in worship, to remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth within us and among us, and to be the light that reveals to us the beauty in our world and in each other. This morning, our chalice will be lit by our wonderful young nursery and preschool class. As they light our shared chalice, I invite you on Zoom to light your home chalice.
So in our class, when we light the chalice, we have our lovely tree stump that I'm sure all of you remember. And everybody gets a light to light, and then we set it on the chalice.
And then we say together,
Okay. Next thing we do is everybody gets to say something fun that they did last week or something fun that they're going to do this week coming up. So on the count of 3, we're going to ask everybody to shout really loud the fun thing that you did or are going to do, okay? You ready? Can you help me count? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that's a lot of fun things that everybody did or is going to do, don't you think? Okay, thank you. I appreciate your help.
Reagan and Simon. One of the best gifts that we give ourselves in our in our busy lives in these challenging times is to take time to care for our spiritual life. And each week we create a time of shared stillness and prayer, reflection, gratitude, meditation, or simply just being in order to remember who we truly are. We do this in the sanctuary during worship, and you'll find that we also do this in our RE religious education classes. So at this time, let's take a few moments to enter some stillness and quiet together. Life is a mystery that brings many things, and part of our experience is struggle and loss. In the spirit of being a community of compassion and care, we take time to share our sorrows and struggles and losses on our hearts right now. If you are on Zoom and you have a sorrow or a loss or a struggle to share, please use the chat box. Anne Verweebe shares that she is thinking of her friend Mike, who lost his father this week. Holding you and your friend Mike in our hearts, Anne. Randy Bish reminds us to please remember Becky Klein, as her mother is in hospice care in Pennsylvania currently. Becky, we love you. We're sending you our love and care as you navigate this difficult time. Brad Cromes shares the concern that Father Martin is having a medical procedure this week. May Father Martin heal and recover quickly. We will hold him and his family in our hearts. Another sorrow shared for yet another mass shooting that happened this weekend in Louisville, Kentucky. May we pray for change. May we pray for action, and we pray for the souls who were lost and those who loved them. Life brings joy. It brings joy and wonder and awe. And we've experienced moments this week that have lifted our spirits. So once again, please use the chat box to share your joys if you are on Zoom. Meredith writes that they are happy that they get to sing this morning in church. Amen. I love singing in church too. Hunter's turning what? 9 on Monday? Happy birthday, bud. If you have a joy to shout out, we can do it all together. We can build a prayer of joy together. On the count of 3, what are you joyful for? 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. For these joys, for the love that rises up in this room and beyond, and for all of these joys, we give grateful thanks. At this time, I invite the elementary school class to join us up front for the kids.
Good morning, everyone. What a wonderful, wonderful crowd of people today on a beautiful morning. Our elementary school class this year includes grades 2nd through 5th, so we have a wide range of excitement and adventure every Sunday. Our teachers are Trudy Deal, Mary Leeson, Katie Curris, Colleen, of course, and myself. And the children, will you guys maybe wave when I say your name? Elliot, Stella, Hunter, Katie, Riley, Meredith, and also we've had Tripp and Morgan many, many times. I don't think they're here today. And the week before Easter, oh, Morgan's here. Where are you, honey? Oh, you didn't come up. Wave your hand. Your dad, I'll wave his hand. Morgan would be the one that's draped, carefully draped with but we love seeing Morgan every Sunday. We see more of her usually on Sundays than we're seeing today, so that's not a problem. We wanted to tell you a little bit about our curriculum. We follow the Soul Matters curriculum, which is the same curriculum that the church follows. So every month when the church has a theme for the adult services, we have the same theme that we talk about. I'm going to share with you the names of the themes that we've been studying. We discuss, we do crafts, we read books that relate to the themes and talk about them. And Riley is going to give you kind of a little breakdown each week of the kinds of topics we covered. The first one in September was belonging.
Who
There it
and
goes.
what you are, belonging to the wide world community.
In October, we talked about courage.
Courage to be yourself, your own whole self. The many paths or ways of being courageous. Courage to hard things, personal courage. Courage to take action, social courage.
Change.
Changing ourselves, how we change. Changing our world.
Wonder.
The wonder around us, the earth, the natural world. The wonder of us as people, as living beings. The wonder of light, solstice, Christmas, star, our inner light.
Love.
Love for yourself, for your family, and for your friends. For your community, for your favorite things.
Vulnerability.
When we seek friendship, we can't do it on our own. When we hope, when we show our true self.
And resistance.
By breathing, by speaking, true to power, by joining together, by changing our habitats, by sticking with it.
I wanted to just mention, too, one of our special teachers who is not here with us today is Cheryl Spohr, and Colleen is going to share more about Cheryl later. So at this point, we would like to introduce the kids and some of the drawings that they've done to represent the themes that we've been talking about.
I guess I have to do my own kid. So this is Hunter. And can you flip that to the next one? And he's currently hiding there at the front row. Can you flip it to the next one, Julie? Or whoever. All right. So here you can see one of the creations that Hunter did to talk about change. So for change, this is one of the many creations Hunter made with blocks. He remarked that by changing which ones you use and where you put them, you can make so many things: a flower, a rocket ship, a cat face, and a gate. And then he made another creation with blocks to show courage. He said the black blocks represent the dark when he goes to bed at night. The yellow blocks are the bedroom floor, and the green block is Hunter. The red circle is a little red ball he has that flashes when it lights up, that helps give him courage in the dark.
This is Stella. Will you hold your picture up high? Hold it up high. This is Stella's picture. She drew on belonging, and she said the cats help each other. The mom, who is on the left, is helping her baby on the right by caring for her.
I love Elliot's. This picture is the Great Cockroach War of 1919. The gunpowder storage is vulnerable to torpedo hits, so they put 7-inch tinfoil armor to protect it. The U-boat did not survive, but the cockroaches did.
This is Morgan. Next slide. And this is Morgan's picture. Morgan wonders about a lot of things. What's the meaning of life? Why are the classroom tables so short? How are windows made of sand, but they're still clear?
Love. I love my cat so much, I will look for it in the rain. Courage.
Next slide. Win.
It's a person with a dark sky and a scary mountain. It takes courage for the person to walk there. Vulnerability. It might not be safe to sleep here, but I want to show you that I'm vulnerable.
Thank you all.
Hello. Okay, so on a Sunday morning in RE this year, the conversation topic was, is school better or worse after the pandemic? When it was my turn, I told the class that I have been having a really hard time, actually. Anxiety and stress made school really, really hard. I was nervous, but I felt safe sharing. That's when someone said, I have that too. And then someone else said, me too. One by one, my friends shared that they had been having a hard time too, and my nerves went away. I felt loved and safe. In that moment, it felt like a giant warm bear hug from my church. I wasn't alone. They understood. And I realized that day how safe I felt in RE. I didn't have to be afraid. Others were going through the same thing that I was, and we spent time taking care of each other. This was a really powerful moment for me. It was awesome. So many good vibes and great energy. The relationships that I've made right here at church are all about love and respect. That means the world to me. I love coming to church, and especially RE. Miss Amanda is the best. Our classroom is filled with joy, laughter, and good vibes. The learning is fun, but we also have a safe place to talk about hard things like racism in the world around us. We played this one game where we all held a string to create a web to hold a ball steady in the middle. Miss Amanda told me to let go of my string, and when I did, the ball fell. It showed me that everyone has an important role to play. Everyone's contribution to the web is important, especially when we are working together to make a better world. This opened my eyes to be the best person that I can be. RE helps me take care of myself and reminds me to lean on my community for help. This year helped open my eyes and helped me to be the best person I can be. And you know what? When I'm cared for, I can be the best person I can be. When I'm cared for, I can then care for others too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Iona. Every January, our children spend the month working on a goal towards justice. This year, we have Kailani here to reflect on our justice work this year.
PFLAG benefits the community by offering a safe space for parents of LGBTQ youth to learn how they can support their children. PFLAG is inclusive and changes lives. I'm very fortunate to have parents who teach sexuality education. I'm looking at you, Kathy Ensall. Meaning I'm accepted for who I am, but not everyone has cool parents like me. It's very important to educate parents of LGBTQ youth because supporting a youth's sexual orientation and/or gender identity can help youth feel like they belong. Sexual orientation and gender identity isn't something people choose, and some parents need help understanding how they can make their kids feel safe and accepted. PFLAG always strives to make a difference. In 2014, they launched a Trans Ally program, and in 2012, PFLAG created a program to educate faith communities about the LGBTQ community. By helping faith communities become more inclusive and friendly towards people of all sexualities and gender identities, PFLAG helps create a welcoming community where everyone feels safe, can be themselves, and love who they want to love. After helping to raise funds for PFLAG and learning more about the organization, my friends and I in RE were inspired to ask the church board to change the bathroom signs in our church building to make people of all genders feel welcome in our congregation. As a UU, it's important to accept people as they are. The first principle says in simple terms, everyone has worth, no matter their age, sexual orientation, or gender identity. People deserve dignity, and I'm very proud of the change we made in the bathroom signs because everyone can be themselves and people know that they are accepted here. Last year, I went with my friend Lo to Pride. I had so much fun there, as it gave me a place to express my identity. Me and Lo got to see drag shows, some concerts, and lots of Pride. This year, I will get to be a part of Akron Pride and share the joy I experienced at Pride with others in RE, because in August we'll be partnering with PFLAG to help spread the message of inclusion, love, and acceptance. Because of this community support, as a member of the RE Youth, I will get to make a difference in the LGBTQ community by supporting PFLAG and its mission to change lives, educate parents, and provide a safe space for everyone. In conclusion, PFLAG is a great organization to support, and I'm excited to keep working with them in the future as a part of the UU Religious Education Program. I can't wait to collaborate with PFLAG at Pride in August and spread the joy throughout Akron.
Yes. Let's sing together our hymn of community, number 16, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple." You're up next. I almost dropped.
My middle school friends, if you could come up, please. You don't have to come up, because we have a pop quiz for you guys. Yeah, you can stand here, but make sure you can stand where you can see the monitor, okay? So we have this pop quiz, which is on Kahoot. Do any of you want to explain Kahoot? It's starting. Okay. Lo wants to do the first one. Oh, okay. Here you go.
When will the UUCK Middle School have group of kids attend Akron Pride? June 26th, August 26th, September 26th, or July 26th?
Let's see what the correct answer is. August 26th.
It's August!
Yes. Good job, you guys. You ready? All right, let's go on to the next question.
When did the monthly community meal start? November 2022, December 2022, January 2023, or February 2023?
What do you think? December is the correct answer. December, yeah. December 2022. All right. And let's see, we're going to have 0 points. So Kahoot is an online game that the kids play at school all the time. Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Okay, at the monthly community meal, the middle school class started the market, free store, free shack, or shoppy. Shop. Oh, I knew that.
All right, the free store is correct. The free store is correct. Wonderful. All right. What's next?
Should we change the bathroom signs in the main church building to make them more welcoming? Yes, no, why are we talking about this, and I don't care.
And we did actually have many conversations about whatever, just wash your hands.
Do you want to see
All
what?
right, next question. I wish Blake were here.
True or false? Women had more power than men in the past. False, they had equal power. False, they didn't have as much power. True, women are better. Or true, girl power.
All right, what's the correct answer? False. Which false, though? They had equal power, or false, they didn't have as much power? Correct. False, they didn't have as much power. All right, the next question.
True or false? Several middle schoolers are co-teaching class in the spring. False. Kids can't teach. True. They are super amazing. True. They were bribed with snacks. False. That's a lot of work and they like to sleep.
Do you think they were bribed with snacks?
Yeah, I wasn't bribed with snacks.
No, they were not. I didn't even have to bribe them with snacks. I did come up with this question, and when we were coming up with the questions for the quiz, there was a member of the middle school class who said, I want to make a question about snacks. So snacks did have to feature, but, snacks are important, right? All right. So yes, true, they were not even bribed with snacks. All right, here you go.
In October, the middle school class rocked Halloween by dressing up, eating candy and snacks, creating haunted forest, all of the above.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. So we got to have a lot of fun together this year. All of the above. All right, how'd you do? We got one more. Back to the beginning.
The middle schoolers remade our covenant halfway through the year and added radical consent, mandatory snacking, don't throw things, don't talk over each other.
Which one did they add?
Did y'all get it correct?
Did you? I don't really hear much. This one's a tricky one. So actually, in our beginning covenant was don't throw things. Unfortunately, we broke that a lot of times. And don't talk over each other. That's another one that we had in our original covenant, but we added mandatory snacking. We did not add, unfortunately, much to their chagrin. We should have. I agree with you, Elliot. But we did add radical consent, and we had a big talk about that. So, all right. What does it mean? Do any of you guys want to field that?
So radical consent is where you very enthusiastically, it's like a way of very enthusiastically consenting to something, and like, can I please throw a shoe at you? And if a person's like, sure, I guess, that's not radical consent, and so you shouldn't really do it until they say, yes, I would love it if you threw a shoe at me. That would be amazing. Please throw a shoe at me. So it's just trying to practice that you make sure that people actually want whatever it is to happen instead of just going along with it because they feel like they should and stuff.
All right, thank you, middle schoolers. Thank you for being amazing.
Part of our RE curriculum this year was the bringing back after the pandemic of Our Whole Lives, our comprehensive sexuality education program for middle schoolers. So at this time, I invite Coleman and Raylyn to share their thoughts on their experiences.
Hello, everyone. My name is Coleman Packer, and I've been participating in the Our Whole Lives sexual education program for 6 months now. We meet every Monday and have 2 hours of education. The teachers, Kathy, Saul, Chris, Kat, have made sure that all students feel comfortable when discussing these possibly uncomfortable topics. The teachers made sure the lessons are lighthearted and not too serious, but also informative and truthful. The topics are centered around the morals of our UU Church, and the teachers reinforce this. It is important for young people to receive sexual education, and OWL is the best possible way how. I've really appreciated how the teachers have taught OWL, and also how mature, sometimes immature, the students are. OWL is a great place to learn sexual education and a great place to advance your knowledge on it.
Good morning. Our Whole Lives has taught me many things in the last 17 weeks. We learned about sexual orientation and disabilities and had a few panels of guest speakers. We learned about consent, STDs, relationship skills, and the effect the internet has on the way we think. We play fun games to help us learn and remember facts. We have an anonymous question box, and we're able to learn and feel open and safe. We have gone over stereotypes about many different things, values, and how to speak up. We've played STI Jeopardy, Anonymity Guess the Word, and had a whole session where we learned about condoms, blew them up to see how big we could get them, and had a chance to take them home, no questions asked. The guest panels were amazing. The first group was a group of trans people varying in different ages, and we got to hear their stories about coming out to their friends and family and their experience in transitioning, and we had time to ask questions. We also had a panel for gay and lesbian speakers who were amazing. Then we had a speaker with cerebral palsy, and we got to hear her experience throughout life. Our facilitators are amazing, kind, and do everything they can to make this a positive learning experience. OWL has taught me to be more comfortable talking about embarrassing topics, and that my body matters and how to take care of it, and many other things. Overall, I didn't really want to go when we started in November, and now I'm sad when we only have a few weeks left. Thanks, Kat, Chris, Saul, Kathy, and my parents, and everyone else who made this happen, because this has been a truly amazing experience.
Okay, this year the UUYJ has done some really fun things. We started to have community meals on the first Sunday of every month. This has been a fun experience to cook food for people in need. I have met some really nice people who had a lot to talk about. There has been some kids who came and they were super sweet. It was nice to color with them and play around. I feel like this experience has changed me in a way that I want to do this stuff more. It feels really good to help people who need food, who do not have that much money. We also went to Happy Trails. I loved the animals so much. I loved the ducklings, the cow named Leo, and the goats who are really sweet. I just love that these people are able to care for the animals in need and get them in a safer home. The UUYJ went to a RE-store a couple months ago to look for furniture to make our space in Fessenden Hall our one comfy youth group space. We got couches, chairs, and cabinets. Slowly, the space turned into our space. In RE, we learned about the history of the church. I'm really close to Renee, and I feel like we can go into deep conversations while class is happening. In In RE, my favorite part was the UU history class with all of us together. I love how the teachers made up rap songs like in the musical Hamilton. We talked about what home is to you. I love being part of this because I love to do things for the community and seeing the people I care about. The work that I'm doing with the youth group is really important to me because I feel like everyone should not be hungry, cold, or homeless. Our group is going to our DC service trip this year to help fix this.
Thank you, Evian, for giving your perspective on high school religious education and our youth group, the Unitarian Universalist Youth for Justice. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. Our spiritual community thrives in its shared life of worship, community, ministry, religious education, as each of us participates in the circle of giving and receiving. This is possible due to your generous gifts of money, time, and care, and for each other. The recognition that we are all connected. Thank you. To help others in the community thrive, we also give to agencies and organizations in Kent and beyond that serve those in need. April's special offering is for our community dinners hosted by our very own youth group, the Unitarian Universalist Youth for Justice, in their mission to feed and bring company and fellowship and love to the wider community for those who may be unhoused or lonely or food insecure. Please give as you are willing and able. The offering will now be gratefully received. Are you guys gonna sing?
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing, and what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that called the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lover.
Today, we also celebrate our religious education teachers who have been called to minister to our children. Without them, none of this works. Religious education is a lifelong process which integrates the wisdom of the world's religions and philosophies with our present experience of reality and hope for the future. At this time, would all of our RE volunteers, if you are in the room, please either stand if you're willing and able, or raise your hand. If you are on Zoom, Amanda, will you check Zoom, see who we got on Zoom? It is impossible to express our appreciation for the work that you do with our beloved children and youth. And we see the time and the gifts and the talents and the diversity that you are bringing each week to your programs. And we see you bring your heart and your soul and your mind and your love and your reason every time you show up. And we see you bring your authentic self in all of you do, all that you do. What a gift you are to these children and to this church. We thank you. Children, would you come and get a carnation and bring it to one of your teachers?
On Zoom, we also have Cheryl Spur and Renee Rahutsky, teachers, and Kevin as well, Kevin Breeden, who have been teaching this year or assisting.
Congregation, will you join in saying the words, "We honor you," following each line that Lola will be reading to our teachers? Right here. Thank you.
Teachers, for the time you have dedicated to preparation, caring for, and teaching our children and youth.
We honor you.
For your commitment to this faith, to this church, and to our shared values.
We honor you.
For sparking the curiosity, the character, and the compassion of our young growing souls.
We honor you. Let us thank our teacher for this year's service. Thank you. You may be seated. This morning, sadly, we were unable to bring Cheryl here. I know, Cheryl, you're on Zoom. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl Spohr, in her over 13 years of service to the children and youth of this church, will be retiring as an RE teacher this year. She has been an RE teacher. She has been a coming-of-age mentor. She is and will always be Professor Starweasel at Kent Hogwarts. She served on the RE committee as well. I am positive that I have missed something that Cheryl has done for the RE program. But Cheryl, we honor you today. We love you, and we thank you. We will bring this gift to you, Cheryl, that was created by our very own Meredith Wakefield, that shows the many facets of you in the RE program. As a teacher, as Professor Starweasel, as an amazing puppeteer, and you'll even find some hidden gems in here, like a red panda and a lobster. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Thank you, Cheryl. We love you. Will you all now join with me in the words to extinguish the chalice as I invite the children up here to sing our final song. Let's get you all up here, and we will extinguish our chalice together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. May we carry these in our hearts and minds and want to turn it off. And for our special treat on our way out this morning, Hal Walker will be providing the accompaniment for our children as they sing you home. Thank you.